our company's projects that we're having right here in Pennsylvania, and also the implications of what that means for the workforce around the area. So for those of you in the
Can you speak up, please?
Absolutely.
Now your microphone's on.
Sorry about that. So for those of you in the audience, now that you can hear me, who don't know about Williams, we are a natural gas infrastructure company that's based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's a publicly traded company that our revenue in 2012 was almost $8 billion. We have 4,700 employees across 26 states, and it covers the Pacific Northwest, the Rocky Mountains, the Gulf Coast, and the eastern seaboard into Pennsylvania. So we were actually founded in 1908, and Williams Transcoast Pipeline has been operating safely here in Pennsylvania since 1951. In December of 2011, we spun off our exploration and production company, which is WPX, and now we're currently just focusing on our current assets, which are the interstate gas pipelines and the midstream operations, which is our Williams Field Services. Across the nation, we have a coast-to-coast natural gas network through these various pipelines. We operate 3 major interstate gas pipelines in America: Transco, Northwest Pipeline, which is in the Northwest, and Gulfstream, which is in Florida. These pipelines comprise about 15,000 miles of interstate gas pipelines, and we're able to deliver 14% of the natural gas that's consumed in the United States through our system. In Pennsylvania alone, we have 1,000 miles of interstate transmission pipeline, and it delivers approximately 30% of the total gas in Pennsylvania that was just here in 2012. We're also building out our midstream lines. We built last year our Springville line, which is a part of a larger system called the Susquehanna Gathering Supply Hub, and then we're also proposing a Confluence Flat Gas project and our Laurel Mountain Midstream that's in the western part of Pennsylvania. We also are currently acquiring different midstream assets in the Marcellus Shale. Recently, we just acquired Laser Northeast Gathering Company and also the Caveman assets that are in the western part of the state as well. Since 1998, Williams has increased our deliveries in Pennsylvania by approximately 30%. On the first gas day of November this month, our midstream team successfully delivered more than 1.5 billion cubic feet of gas. That's a record for us, and by 2015, we expect to gather about 5 BCF a day, just in our midstream alone. Even though this 1,000 miles of pipeline and all of our gathering systems might seem pretty impressive, it's actually just the beginning or the end of it, depending on how you look at it. And now it's not working. That's wonderful, isn't it? Thank you. So this is actually part of our larger system, which is the Transco pipeline system. It consists of 10,000 miles of pipeline, has 52 compressor stations along our system, and various different storage facilities. With this system alone, we're able to deliver 8% of the natural gas that's consumed in the United States. Primarily, our customers are utility companies and electric power plants. And traditionally, there's been a shift in the natural gas marketplace recently, as with all the discoveries of the natural gas in the Marcellus Shale. Traditionally, our system, we've flown gas from the south all the way up to the north to deliver the gas to the eastern seaboard, to New York City markets, to Boston markets. But now with this new development, we're changing our system to be a bi-directional system and actually reversing the flow of gas. We all know that supply, as business people here, that supply is only beneficial if there's an actual demand. On January 22nd of this year, the Transco pipeline delivered a record-breaking 10.4 million decatherms in one day. That's enough gas to heat 45 million homes in one day. Low prices and the public's desire for cleaner burning energy have definitely fueled the growing popularity of natural gas along the eastern seaboard. And also recent New York City regulations, particularly Bloomberg's Plan NYC, have called for the conversion of all heating oils 4 and 6 to natural gas, and also converting a lot of the, basically all of the city taxis and buses to natural gas as well. So we see these recent regulations, we see this demand for natural gas in the Boston and New York City markets. We see this increased access to local distribution companies. As a federally regulated pipeline, we are an open access pipeline. So by law, anyone can come to us, local distribution companies, utility companies, come to us and say, we would like to tap off your pipeline, and we have to allow them if they meet our safety standards. So with that, we're also seeing more of a demand. And then also, much of the demand, actually most of the demand, is particularly through our electric power generation. On this slide, it shows basically all of the different power plants that are being converted to natural gas. And it's helpful to show that behind a third of the volumes in the proposed projects of Transco, it's because of electric power generation. We are actively pursuing projects to serve power generation and requiring in excess of 3 billion cubic feet a day in pipeline capacity. So over 90% of the proposed power plants will be fueled by natural gas. This represents a potential pipeline investment of about $2.5 billion in new projects. So we have to have these expansion projects in order to provide access to our customers. And the beneficial part of that is that they're actually able to get cheaper gas if they're not bringing it all the way from the Gulf of Mexico. It's closer to their region. A couple of projects that we're currently working on as a company. The Leidy Southeast is right here in your backyard. It's an expansion project on our Transco system. It's designed to increase Transco's capacity by 469 million cubic feet of gas per day. That's enough to heat 2 million homes per day. The proposal involves the construction of approximately 28 miles of additional pipe segments that we call loops, and it goes through Pennsylvania and New Jersey, with, in addition to modifying some of our existing compressor stations. We hope to have this project in service by 2015. With these 15 miles of the project, of the 28, will be spread throughout Luzerne and Monroe counties. So with the construction starting in March of 2014, hopefully, and lasting 7 to 10 months, we estimate that the loops in Luzerne County and Monroe County will require a workforce of 767 workers. We also anticipate 154 jobs in relation to the months that we'll be working on the 3 compressor stations in Luzerne County, Columbia County, and Lycoming County. We anticipate that at least half of the construction workforce will be union workers. Another project that we're currently working on is the Constitution Pipeline. It's been in the press, so I'm sure many of you have seen it. It is a $750 million joint venture project with Cabot, Piedmont, and Washington Gas Light companies. It's a proposed 125 30-inch diameter pipeline that starts in Susquehanna County, and it's designed to connect PA gas supplies here from the Marcellus Shale with major interstate gas pipelines serving the Northeast via the Iroquois Pipeline and the Tennessee Gas Pipeline. This pipeline system alone will be able to deliver 650 million cubic feet a day. That's equivalent of heating 3 million homes. So our target in-service date for this project is March of 2015, and we estimate that it'll provide about 2,400 full-time jobs in the region, with 1,400 directly related to the construction industry. We estimate that it'll be approximately $96 million in new income spread throughout New York and Pennsylvania, and $14 million in sales and income tax revenue for the region. We recently actually just purchased $20 million worth of pipe for this project from the company Durabon right here in Pennsylvania, and it's going to be manufactured at their steel mill in Stilltown, Pennsylvania. This project, Odak Rock Springs, is a proposed project that will construct about 10.5 miles of pipeline beginning with our Transco's mainline system in the southwestern part of Lancaster County, and it'll extend southeast to power the Old Dominion Electric Cooperative Power Plant in Cecil County, Maryland. This, like the other slide that I showed you, is one of the many projects that we're approached to build laterals to different power plants that are being converted. Northeast Supply Link is a recent project that we just this month are wrapping up, so we're excited about it. And the project expanded and modified our current systems, both in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York. It only added about 13 miles of pipe, and it also added a new greenfield compressor station, and it replaced about 4.4 miles of existing pipe. So the expansion provides a capacity for 250 decatherms of gas per day to the region. I just wanted, since we are wrapping up this, I just wanted to take a closer look into the actual economic impact of this project. So The total estimated cost of the Transco pipeline expansion was estimated to be $80.4 million. Of this total, approximately $49.4 million, almost 2/3 of the revenue, is expected to be spent in Pennsylvania on labor, materials, equipment, and other project-related expenditures. These expenditures generally generate different economic impacts, both directly through hiring and business purchases and indirectly. The project constructed various loops or additional pipeline segments in Lycoming and Monroe County. So let's take a closer look, since this is right in your backyard, on the actual impacts of this. The Palmerton Loop was 4.2 miles of looped pipeline in Monroe County. Table 1 kind of shows you the direct construction expenditures on labor, material, equipment, and the related items that are approximately $20 million, and approximately $16.6 million of that is spent in Pennsylvania. Table 2 shows a table of employment. We factor in jobs as job years, one job lasting 1 year. So this project generated 136 job years. Indirectly, it contributed to 32 job years and totaling of 168. Another way to look even closer into this is we had a compressor station as part of the project. Now, this wasn't a greenfield compressor station. This is already an existing compressor station that we currently have, and we added a 16,000 horsepower engine to help with the added capacity for this project. So with just this one addition to our compressor station, the direct construction expenditures were approximately $7 million, and we spent $6.2 million here in Pennsylvania. In addition to all this, I'd just like to briefly touch, John did a good job at explaining just the local economic benefits. You have local and state sales tax. You have road repairs to the townships and municipalities that wouldn't normally have the funding to be able to do this when we do these different expansion projects and come through. We give grant dollars and training to our first responders. We do, local businesses profit because it's not just our actual business that's doing the work, it's the different hotels and it's where the construction workers are spending their money and all of that. In 2012, the property taxes that we paid to the state of Pennsylvania were $378,000. And most importantly for today's discussion is the local workforce. In Pennsylvania, we have 538 full-time employees. In 2012, we paid $44 million in gross wages in Pennsylvania, and the jobs that we create here aren't just random one-time jobs, they're generational jobs. We also realize that since our industry is quite new to the area, it's our obligation and duty to invest into the education system here. We've partnered with Penn State and also developed an internship program there over the past 3 years. Last year alone, we hired 4 recent grads from Penn State, and we also partner with a lot of the technical colleges here in the area. We partner with Lackawanna College to provide operational technician internship opportunities for students in the petroleum and natural gas technology program. We recently donated a refurbished dehydrator unit to the program. We provide scholarships to Thaddeus Stevens Technical Institute and Penn Tech for their welding and tech and diesel tech programs. And we've also worked with Johnson College to help them develop a program to train welders. In addition to being able to provide the local jobs, clearly we employ people from all over the nation, so the one way that it's just very easy for us to be able to bring that all together is through our website. And if you're interested today about learning how to work for Williams as a full-time employee, you can go to our website at www.williams.com/careers, and it's quite a comprehensive website. We have, if you go to the right-hand left side, you can look at current openings and you can search all of the openings that are here, well actually across the nation, but here in Pennsylvania as well. Just as I was preparing this presentation yesterday, I was just very, very curious and went in there and just typed in Pennsylvania, and currently there's 21 full-time jobs available here in Pennsylvania, ranging from civil pipeline engineer, compressor engineer, measurement engineer, construction coordinator, IT specialists, permitting specialists, and the list goes on and on. You can also check us out at Facebook. We have a page directly related to careers at Williams, and you can check out all the different postings are posted there on the Facebook page, and also you can see what our employees are up to and the different things that they're involved in the area to see if Williams would fit the kind of the corporate culture that you'd like to work at. In addition to the full-time work, as John mentioned, most of our construction work is done through contractors. We employ contractors and they employ subcontractors for construction, surveying, landscaping, land procurement, administration, permitting, accounting, legal, HDD borings, environmental, engineering, the list goes on and on. In addition to the actual subcontractors in the construction work, we require many services. Many people just think it's, oh, you know, it's just the construction work, and you know that my business wouldn't necessarily be qualified, but that's not the case. And you have to think about the fact that we're building offices here, and we need services for painting, we need janitorial services, we need lighting, we need air patrol. Our company flies the pipeline and all of our assets. We do aerial patrols every single week to ensure the safety of our assets. So just different ways of thinking outside the box and really getting to know the industry and getting to know exactly what they need. The chamber that we are actually involved in is an excellent way to do that as well. So if you're interested in becoming, and it's also really important to note that our goal is to hire local service providers. The only reason that we do not do that, or in the case that we don't do that, is when the services here don't exist, or when it's not competitively priced, or when the service provider doesn't meet our safety and reliability requirements. So if you're interested in becoming a service provider at Williams, clearly a connection needs to be made with Williams, and then we'll request to start the MSA process. We'll ask you to fill out a company profile with the information here listed, and among other things. And we'll send you the MSA contract to the contractor, and it is important to note, though, that not all contractors qualify to work for Williams. What do we require? We require a proven safety record and practices. We require reliable services, and a master service agreement has to be in place. And for certain businesses and practices, we do require the IS network registration. So MSA agreement, we've clearly been over this. It's a legal agreement between the vendor and Williams that will dictate the relationship that will be worked and assigned. Every natural gas company has different MSAs. Even within our company, if we have different MSAs for our midstream versus our interstate gas pipeline. So it's very important that you read the MSA, and that if you want to work in both areas, or you have the industry knowledge to know which sector you would like and which you require to work for. Minimum requirements. These are just a list of some. So a 3-year average total recordable incident rating of 5 or less, a current experience modification rate of 1 or less, no fatalities during the last 3 years, no safety-related citations during the last 3 years, and the safety program review and verification services score of 100% in IS Net World. We do, it's not, I agree with you, it's not just a saying. Safety is our #1 priority, and that goes down as the obligations of our subcontractors and our contractors. So if you have more questions, clearly I can't cover it all today, but we are local. Stop by, come and see us. We have a Tunkhannock office, and we also have a Clark Summit office. There's the addresses, tell them I sent you. And you know, it is, I meet a lot of people, I go to a lot of events, and I'm always, one of the main questions is always, you know, how do I get into the industry? Who do I talk to? And you know, just stop by. We'll point you into the right direction and get some MSA started. So I just wanted to leave you with this one slide. This shows the major 2012 to 2014 projects that we have on track for the company. As you can see, the purple is our olefins plant that's in Louisiana. Green is Canada, light blue is Eastern Seaboard, the dark green is our western assets, and then the orange is the Gulf of Mexico. The blue is Pennsylvania. The blue is the Marcellus shale. These are the projects that our company, all of the projects, has on the docket. So if a project that is 4 miles just created $16.6 million in revenue for Pennsylvania, imagine the cumulative impact that more than half of the projects that we have going on in the company will have for the economy here in Pennsylvania. So I just wanted to leave you with that, and we have a wealth of opportunity here in the Commonwealth, and we're excited to be partnering with many local businesses and providing local jobs here. Thank you.